Hello, Marianne. And this interview is going to be a little bit of a surprise because I'm not going to ask you about your book, Sour Milk and Stolen Honey, nor am I going to ask you about your new book, A Line in the Sand. I want to ask, has Marianne Azizi become a political animal?
Oh my goodness, I didn't expect that question. Every time I think about political people, I either think about party politics, or you think about activists who smuggle beagles out of animal centres. So when someone asks me if I'm political, I don't want to fall into those categories. But I think I'm going to have to admit now that I would call the journey that I'm on a political one, definitely. It seems to be the only way to go.
Your politics, your own personal view, have been shaped by the various different challenges you faced over the last 8 years. However, you also are challenging current events because your view politically is that they need their own house in order before they start to alter everybody else's. And of course we're talking about Israel at the moment. So, you're challenging a very powerful country, you're not backing down. Are you becoming a problem to Israel?
What a great question. If I think I'm a problem to Israel, that would make me believe that I have the ego the size of a house because I'm just a one-person outfit. I'm going to say it as I see this right now, okay? Yes, there's been a war in Gaza, and it's a terrible war. And as far as the murders and the genocides and the killing of these innocent people is concerned, any normal human being, anybody would have a problem with that. My loyalty to the country is 27 years old. My children are half Israeli, so I have a vested interest in that country being a good place to be. It's not a good place to be, not for the Israelis and not for the Palestinians. I am a problem probably to Israel, and I'll say it, and that is because I'm trying to expose some of the internal issues that are causing deaths, poverty, parental alienation, and some of the worst human rights and civil rights abuse that I've ever come across in a democracy. And I know that the voices are waiting to be heard, and I know that there's many, many voices that aren't being heard, and there may be some movements who would like me not to talk about it.
You mentioned in a private conversation between you and I that you felt the corruption, which was financially motivated,
Yes.
was one of the core reasons, because apparently government does not make the law.
Right. Here's the scoop, huh? Whilst my husband languishes in Israel, the shadow of a human being living in the worst conditions that anyone should live in compared to the lifestyle he had here, I find out over the years that the Knesset, or the government as that's what they're called, write to me from the most senior position under the Prime Minister to actually tell me, we're really sorry to hear about this, but we don't make the laws. The laws are actually made by judges, by courts, and on an ad hoc and arbitrary basis. It's on the day, who you get, how it works. Those laws are also not enforced if the person who's suing you doesn't like the decision, which means there are no laws as far as I can see. That's a license. That's a license to extort. It's a license for money making, and it's a license to kill. And as far as I'm concerned, with the family connections that I have, and my life being destroyed by extortion to the tune of almost £500,000, I don't want it anymore, and I don't want to wake up and find more dead people in the news. And it does make me angry, actually. Finally.
So, in that finality of your step towards being Marianne Azizi, the political animal, are you going to your own personal challenges now? Or is this the global issues that you're embracing?
This is a huge global issue. It's a huge, huge global issue. The Middle East affects every single person in this planet. what happens there affects us all. Hello Britain, we sent people to Iraq, Afghanistan, etc. Hello Britain, we fund and arm Israel to protect them as the only democracy in the Middle East. Welcome to the US, the same stuff. Everything depends upon the Middle East. Now, the Jewish people, who I do not have a problem with whatsoever, and the Israeli country, which I do not have a problem with, is fine. My journey here is that in order to sort out the mess in the Middle East, one of the things that could be done is the behaviour of Israel to its own people must be part of the solution. You can't abuse your own people, abuse another group of people and not see the connections between the two. I'm a behavioural consultant with 30 years experience. Nothing happens in isolation. So I'm going to be very annoying, and maybe I might be years ahead of my time, but this is my lot and that's what I'm going to have to do.
Well, I wish you well on that journey.
If I ever
wish
see
you well
you
on that
again,
battle.
you never know, this could be the last video you'll ever see of me.
I hope not, Marianne.
I don't think it will be.